Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Uh, uh, Pavita madam, just let me know if my voice will be breaking or
Yes, yes, sure, ma'am. Sure.
PPT is not moving.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so shall I start?
Yes, ma'am. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can start.
I guess I should keeping my video off so that it will be properly visible or bandwidth will be good. Yeah. So hello everyone. And first of all, let me thank the organizing team and especially Dr. Gadegar for giving me chance to demonstrate some of the work on 3D modeling and how to use artificial intelligence in that 3D modeling. And basically, after this excellent session by Anvi madam, let me tell you one thing that even 3D modeling is actually, I mean, student or maybe researcher are not that much uh, interested in 3D modeling because it is somewhat difficult to go into the understanding of all the mathematical sense. But nowadays, 3D modeling is quite useful, and using AI approach, you can easily get very interesting algorithm to make that 3D modeling faster and on your laptop, basically. So yeah, with this, let me start. And I know that this is just a last session of this complete FDP, but just believe me, 3D modeling is quite important field in this. Computer engineering or IT engineering research. Okay, so and even the AI is making it very useful, or AI is making it very interesting and I mean you can say a good research topic you can say. Okay, so let's start. So agenda for today's session is yeah. So 3D model and modeling. I mean, I will explain ki what is 3D model and basically what are different examples of 3D model and how modeling is used. Then different implementation algorithms are available for 3D modeling. So we'll study that also. Then why and how to use this 3D modeling in the AI domain or how to use AI domain in that 3D modeling. Okay. Then different research projects in you will find that many interesting research projects are available and lots of research is going on in this 3D modeling field. So that also I will try to cover and current research trends. Okay. So let us start with the 3D model. And even in my PPT, I have tried to add all the relevant pictures or images with respect to the explanation so that you can correlate that topic with that figure. Okay, so what is mean by 3D model? Basically, all of we know ki what is mean by 3D model, but let me categorize 3D model into four domains or into four categories. First, development using 3D graphics. Development of that 3D model using 3D graphics. So whatever are the graphics languages are available, using those graphics languages, we can develop our own interesting 3D model and even we can implement AI algorithms on those data items or the parameters related to that you can say data set. Okay, then 3D design. As far as different mechanical streams or architectural streams are concerned, there the importance is given to the design. So, which algorithms and which AI technology is available for that design. Then 3D animation. Animation is the quite, I mean, useful field and used by, you can say, all the common people, right from the small kid to older ages people, or they used to watch the movies. Even I remember my small kid, my 3 years a small kid, he liked so much about that cartoon, what do you say, Chota Bheem, and he used to copy that, how that Chota Bheem is wearing the lungi, and how he is eating the, I mean, laddu, and she is trying to copy that thing. Okay, so 3D animation and 3D environment. So, as we know, nowadays using the GPS or using the Google Map, we are taking the photos of cities and even the planets, and we are trying to correlate the environment. We are trying to find the environment, that 3D environment, and in that 3D environment, we are trying to search the patterns, right? 3D patterns. So, with respect to this, I'm classifying this 3D model into these categories. First is 3D graphics, second is 3D design, third is 3D animation, and 3D environment. Okay. Then what is the usage of these 3D models? Overall, or in the general language, you can say, okay, it is used in the planning and buildings, using the architectural visualization, giving 3D tour to the real estate sector, internal and external view of the building and home, okay, and garden, okay. Then creating video games and movies. This is the most interesting and nowadays common field, and common, you can say, area or domain used by all the peoples, and conducting academic research. Even nowadays, for taking the lecture, we use this 3D model for proper visualization. In the mechanical field, in the civil field, it is quite important. Even in the chemical field, even for the small kid, it is very useful to understand the concept. And we know that Byju's and different classes are taking the help of this 3D modeling to explain the concept, right? Yeah. So beside that, there are different research field, or you can say the actual usage of this 3D modeling. The important the virtual reality, augmented reality, VR, AR, MR concept nowadays used in uh, many different domain also. So it is just an interdisciplinary field, you can say. Then the motion capture, gesture recognition, robotic mapping, industrial design, orthotics, prosthetics in the medical field, reverse engineering, prototyping, quality control, and digitization. And of course, it is not limited to this list. There are many domains available where we are using this 3D modeling. Right? Now, as far as we are learning how to apply our AI algorithm, not only AI, I'm also I also want to emphasize that even the machine learning algorithms or combination of AI and machine learning algorithms are applicable on this graphics data or 3D model data, right? But then what is the actual data set, or what are the terminology involved in this parameters used to process graphics? Okay, so here I just want to focus some terminology, that is pixel and voxel. So generally for 2D smallest element we call it as a pixel, and 3D smallest element we call it as a voxel. Then color and interpolation. There are many interpolation algorithm available to calculate the exact color value in for particular pixel or particular voxel, right? If you want to map the brain model, if you want to map any environmental 3D model, okay, there are many factors like the fog or dust which are affecting the actual color of object. So there we can use different interpolation algorithm to calculate the exact color value. And even we can specify the color in RGB or CSV, or different color models are available. Using that, we specify colors, right? So color and interpolation and different parameters involved in that colors and interpolation. Then the light, fog, opacity. Then even the light calculation are quite interesting, or you can say complex. If you want to find out how light is traveling and how its intensity is decreasing, how due to shiny object the light is reflected, how if you have the reflective object then how light is reflected. So considering all those parameters, what is the exact light intensity available at particular surface, that calculations, that formulas and that parameters are important. The same way, fog value as the even fog conceptic, as you uh, increase the distance from suppose fog area, or you are going away from that fog area, the fog intensity will find more, right? And you will not be able to identify the object available in that fog area. Opacity or transparency, opacity and transparency, those are reciprocal, right? So how much the opacity value or how much the transparent object is there, that you can find out, and accordingly you can calculate the exact value in that model. Then the projection, view volume. Okay, so these are many interesting terms. As you learn more and more terminology, you will find key many parameters are available in just one concept with many formulas. So as we are talking about AI and machine learning and statistics involved in the AI and machine learning, so these calculations are also very important. Okay, so here we have to create a combination or embedded model of this graphics calculation and ML model, and you can say AI model. Okay, so this is the combination of all the projection matrix, parallel projection, perspective projection, view volume, view prestum. I mean, if you are watching any a scenario from one position, then what is the visible area in which that object is visible? Which objects are hidden? Which objects are occluded? Which objects are curled? Okay, so for all these things, we need the mathematical calculation, texture mapping, bump mapping. If you want to map, suppose a brick texture, pebble texture, color texture, okay, leaf texture to particular environment, particular picture that you can do. And if you want to render that object, so after rendering means if your object is translated from one position to other position, then how the shape of that object, shape of that texture varies, that also we are taking care of. Okay, bump mapping. Bump mapping concept you can correlate with your suppose orange fruit. As you know, the skin of orange fruit is not a plain skin. There are different pits and holes available on that skin. So how to represent it using the 3D modeling? So bump mapping concept is used there. Ray tracing concept, to trace the ray and calculate the exact intensity value, color value on that object. Path tracing, photon mapping, these are different light mapping algorithm, and the parameters involved in that algorithms are important, which we consider in mapping the AI algorithms, or you can say machine learning algorithms, statistic, graphics algorithm to calculate the exact object. Uh, my voice is clear? Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It's
Yeah,
clear.
because I find a message no audio. Okay. Yeah. So now come to the part 3D modeling. Okay, so we understand 3D model and we apply different graphics algorithm to algorithms which we map on that object, and that process is our 3D modeling. We have all the parameters available. Nowadays, there are many software tools are available. Using that tools, we actually render the object. So 3D modeling is nothing but using that mathematical calculation. We actually calculate the final visible 3D model. And of course, as nowadays we are taking care of it should be realistic, it should look realistic compared to just a flat color, or compared to just a flat color system or flat object, right? You can compare this with the older animation movies and new animation movies, or older games, video games and new games ki PUBG ki जिसमें you can see okay ki interesting effect of light and fog and shadow. Okay, so what is 3D modeling? It is a process of developing a mathematical coordinate based representation on the surface, because surface is visible, any surface of that object, and in 3 dimension via specialized software. By manipulating edges, vertices, polygon, we have to apply that effect in that 3D modeling. We'll calculate that effect. Okay, so yeah, so this is 3D modeling, and as you can see these figures, there we are trying to calculate coordinate, colors, fog value, shadow value, or even the culling part. If you are uh, uh, if you are in the front, so background should be culled, or back view should be culled, like that. Okay, so overall effect calculation is nothing but your 3D modeling. Okay, so now I'm just covering some software hardware part, and then we'll cover the algorithms and actual research part with respect to AI and ML. Yeah, so there is a long list of software tools available here, in which you can create your 3D model. Okay, you can the CAD popular software is there, AutoCAD. There you can design the interesting machine design, architectural design, and even 3D slash. As you can see, this one small list: 3D slash, 3D code, 3D vs shape, AC 3D. Even some softwares are now not in the working stage also. But from last to last decade, actually so many modeling softwares were launched, and using those software we can develop such interesting 3D models. Okay, software or software tools. Compared to that, languages are different. Which languages you can use to create your own 3D model? I mean, VRML you can compare or you can correlate with the tool also, okay, because in the VRML environment, you can create a 3D object, even the internal view of your home. VRML was there in the syllabus earlier. Nowadays, many actually universities have removed that VRML because new interesting easy languages are even available. VRML is also easy, and the advantage of VRML is you can run the output of VRML, output of that VRML on the browser. Okay, so here VRML is just one interesting thing. Then the Unity is nowadays quite popular to create the 2D, 3D models, then animation, games, okay. And even the interface of that Unity is also simple to apply, to create an object, to create animation, to render the object. Uh, then even what you say, to give a different color value. If you want to create suppose solar model, apply the texture mapping effect, fog effect. Okay, there are many interesting applications you can create in this Unity. And just some days before, I heard one workshop of Unity, and they have even given the facility to add your own library. In that Unity software, to extend the functionality of that Unity features. Okay, so that is also possible, but then what is the limitation of existing tools? Why should we go for actual languages, right? So first thing, okay, those tools are quite costly. Okay, in the lakhs of rupees you have to pay, and then you actually can use that software and develop your own model. Even, but one advantage of, let me tell about Unity. Even our college has purchased a Unity license, and they Unity is giving you the scripting facility also. So the basic model you can create in the Unity, and then if you want to extend the functionality, then of course you can use the C sharp, like the scripting language. Okay, then if you want to apply some implement some AI algorithm, Of course, you can take the help of that scripting language and develop your own model also. But at the same time, for the general user, it is somewhat costly. They require a specialist team and extensive training also. Yeah, we have to take the somewhat training to get to understand all the features available in that 3D modeling tool. Then one more thing is 3D modeling tool require expensive hardware to run. Yeah, because of course if it is not optimized, then you will need a proper GPU or specific hardware set to run that 3D model. Most are pretty rigid and prevent true creativity. So if you want to implement your own algorithm, it is quite difficult, you know. And some tools don't accurately visualize the project with poor or over detailed representation. Over detailed representation. Sometimes what happens now, even if you want to create a small model, you have to set so many parameters in that you can lose your interest to develop that 3D model or 3D animation or 3D game or of course your academic research related thing. Okay, so these are the some limitation which you can remove using AI and machine learning domain and create your own interesting, you can say, model. As you can see that this figure, okay, here we have created this, you can say 3D model. But as you can see in the property window, there are so many properties you have to set generally, and you have to try so many properties, then only you will get the correct effect, whatever you want in your model, right? So there we expect the use of AI and ML. Okay, even if my PPT title is just use of AI in 3D modeling, but believe me, here you have to use the ML, ML algorithm also, statistics also, to apply on that graphics so that you can create maybe interesting effect. So that's why I'm writing the title as a AI and AI or ML. Okay. So first important thing, try to reduce cost. Okay, so you take your own language, not your own language, means the available language. Believe me, every software or languages you can use to create the graphics effect. Even the C language or C++ language, you can create your own 3D model. Of course, you need so many programming things, but again, some simple languages are available, like the VC++. In that VC++, also you can write interesting code. You might be aware that Windows operating system, that those Windows modeling effect has created using the DirectX on VC++, right? So yeah, so VC++ is capable enough to create many interesting modeling effect. And of course, you can write your AI ML algorithm also on those properties. Okay. Then use the open source environment. Of course, using that you can reduce the cost. Write your own code. You can easily implement your own algorithms there. Then use of GPU. Nowadays, cheap GPUs are available. I mean, you have heard the lecture, already heard the lecture on GPU, and there are interesting libraries are available. NVIDIA has launched many useful SDKs for AI and modeling. You can use that even in the CUDA language. You can develop the what do you say different interesting graphics models. You can explore the 3D environment. You can go into the detail. In the simple languages, you can create your own shapes of any specification instead of having just standard shapes. And useful for research to the society and industries also. Yeah. Now, try to understand where exactly we are using this AI ML algorithm in making those 3D modeling useful or interesting. But first of all, what is the process for that 3D model generation? Of course, here we have the idea, and for that idea, we can create maybe paper diagram or simple analysis of your model, and then you add some details into that. And here, actually, we can create a paper model or using the languages, or you can create a model, and then using the AI ML, you can validate that model and actual production and launch. Of course, this diagram is related to this rocket launching, maybe satellite launching. But the process is near about same for all other modeling also. You take the idea, you do some paperwork, you refine that paperwork, you create a model, you test that model, and then you work on actual physical building of that object, right? So here, how I'm using that 3D AI in that 3D modeling. First important point, it supports the 3D development process by generating and suggesting the right texture for designer to use when creating 3D model. It will give you the help. Okay, which color may be useful, which texture may be useful, which parameter may be useful, which algorithm may be useful, which are the ready shape available, and you can embed that shape directly into your model. So that help you can take from the AI. Improve the process by automatically detecting and tagging the model. Okay, so as you will know, in automatic detection and tagging, we may taking the help of your training model or trained model or maybe your existing algorithm. You can validate millions of parameters, graphics parameter, threshold, limit of your data. Validate the relationship and mathematical formulation of parameter. And one more important thing, semi-supervised learning to encode the prior knowledge in a way that can be interacted and allow designer to iterate faster. Using the graphics processor, using the fast processor, you can make it faster. And if your model is already trained, then again it will give you the fast execution or fast output of your 3D model. Yeah, so now just review some algorithms, how algorithms or technology is used in 3D modeling. And in between, I will also tell you how the AI is useful in between to refine those models. Okay, so basic 3D modelings are, as we are talking about 3D, even if it is a 3D model, but that may be just a hollow surface model or that may be a volume model. Just imagine that you have a pipe. Pipe you are looking like a 3D, but there is nothing inside the pipe. So it is hollow pipe. So that is a surface modeling. Volume modeling. There each and every voxel is important. Each and every part of that 3D object is important. Like suppose brain object. There each and every part is important. Surface as well as interior. Right. So that is surface and volume modeling. Solid modeling. Just considering the as a any object like the metal object as a solid object and create a machine. So for machine design, we can use a solid modeling. Simplification versus subdivision. These are also very important part of algorithm. Okay, I have the slide for this. So let me proceed one by one. Okay, so surface graphics. So as I told you, the difference between the surface graphics and volume graphics. In surface graphics, even if it is available in the 3D environment, so we represent it in terms of XYZ coordinate. But at the same time, there are some part which we can neglect. Okay, so we have to optimize the memory to store this complete model. Uh, uh, in that again, you can use the point cloud in which we can represent each and every surface part as a using the point or pixel. You can define each and every pixel, and you can neglect the internal part or along you can say Z dimension. Okay, so objects are explicitly defined. So this is surface graphics and volume graphics. Here we consider the voxel. So with respect to that, synthesis, modeling, manipulation, rendering, all these are important with respect to each and every voxel. So when your model is transferred, when your model is if you are applying suppose a translation, rotation, scaling, so in every case there we have to consider each and every voxel. Okay, so this is the volume graphics. Then the solid modeling. So yeah, solid modeling means here, as far as surface modeling is concerned, when you are taking care about the edges and faces and vertices, then okay, you can use simple this table, face table, edge table, vertex table to store the exterior. And as per the translation rotation operation, you can apply the matrix multiplication. आपको पता होगा if you study the 2D graphics in the translation rotation scaling, there we use the matrix multiplication. Okay, simply. Okay, then there are some validations. Okay, so here there is one validation through the Euler-Poincare formula. In the Euler-Poincare formula, you can validate the object using simply this formula. Yeah. So V minus E plus F minus H equal to 2 into bracket is minus P. So as you can see this diagram figure, there you can find out a number of edges, number of voxels, number of faces, and you correlate or you validate it. Okay. So ऐसे validation formulas है that we can use to validate our model. Yeah, now this is one interesting part. कि primitive solid and Boolean operations. कि there we can use the standard models, graphics model. For that, many languages support this primitive solids. Okay, even in the OpenGL, if you are aware, कि that is a very simple and open source language, graphics language available. And in that language also, you will get this ready-made solids. So on that, you can apply it for the design or embedding. Okay. So if you have such a ready-made shapes with the coordinate, then you can apply some Boolean operations like, say this A union B. So if you want to unite two objects together, what will be the output? And of course, I mean, only the operation is not sufficient. You have to provide extra parameters just to provide where exactly you want that union, where exactly you want that subtraction, right? So subtraction operation, B minus A minus B. Okay, then there may be intersection operation. So if you intersect this two objects A and B, then what intersection you will get? Okay. So such a simple mathematical operations you can apply. I mean, in your simple graphics language. See, now I'm talking about some graphics languages. C language is just a generalized language, but OpenGL is a graphics language. But OpenGL libraries or OpenGL SDK, you can combine or you can say apply on the C language. I mean, what you can say, you can download that plugin for OpenGL and you can interface it with the VC++ or maybe C++. Okay, and then you can combine the code of C language as well as OpenGL language. Okay, so there you will get such a simple Boolean operations to design your own model. Then solid modeling. This is also one interesting part. CSG, constructive solid geometry. CSG stand for constructive solid geometry. And okay, see this, take this basic two models, then you can combine it, means apply the union operation, and then apply the subtraction operation or a cut operation to cut the internal part from that you can say given object. Okay, so cut operation, then you again apply the cut operation to get the shape. Okay, so in this way, I mean, every time the modeling is not difficult. Try to understand, you select the proper language and you select जैसे कि what I told you about the OpenGL कि OpenGL में you get this easy interface and at the same time you can implement the AI ML algorithms also. You can easily apply the color effect, fog effect, light effect on those objects and you can create one interesting 3D model and animation. Subdivision surfaces. These are also a interesting type to model your object. Subdivision and simplification. These are the two terminology related with the optimization. Okay. Say optimization and accuracy. As you can see in this figure, okay, in the first figure, whenever you are creating the letter ASU, those are just a flat model, right? There is no curvature or simple curve to look it as interesting part. But when you apply more and more subdivision, when you divide one triangle into many triangle, one polygon into many triangle, just to show the curvature, just to show the curve, just to show the, you can say, how smoothly the surface is. then of course you have to apply there the subdivision to make that object smooth. So subdivision is nothing but recursively add more and more polygon into that shape to make it smooth. Okay, and the reverse of that is simplification. Actually, problem with subdivision is it occupy more memory. It is costly model in terms of processing and in terms of you can say storage also. So there we prefer the simplification. In your model, if the smoothing is not required or smoothing is less important, then you go for simplification. So try to reduce the number of triangles. But it is not that easy to reduce the number of triangle. It should not change the shape. Okay. Let me show you one example. Here there is a edge collapse technique. Edge collapse is also one algorithm available for simplification. So now here if you want to remove this edge, first of all you should take care of select which edge should be removed. Point, then it may harm your shape. Right. So here, if I'm removing this center edge, then instead of that center edge, okay, this point is created. So all the edges are connected to this point and it will even reduce the number of triangles. Okay, so this technique is available. Edge collapse technique, full edge collapse, half edge collapse. There are many even other techniques are available for this simplification. Okay, so these graphics algorithms are available, right? To simplify your model. Okay, one more extension of this subdivision algorithm is a spatial subdivision. When you are working on 3D model, when every part is important in that object, so instead of considering just a face or instead of considering just one face of that complete object, you can take it in the 3D environment. You can take 3D bounding box. In that 3D bounding box, you can divide your model into smaller model to define all the parameters. Try to understand. Here I am interested in all the model, all the parameters. I mean color value at each and every point, right? So for every voxel, for every part, minor part, smallest part of that object, I have to define all the properties. After translation, after rotation, what will be the color changes, how the color is degraded or how maybe color intensity is increase, that we have to take care of. Okay. So in that space partitioning, again, some more strategies are available. And there we have to take care ki how we are managing the frustum, how the managing the bounding volume, how you are managing the visible set, visible part, and how you are managing the environmental or scene, other part of that graph. Okay. And for that, some data structures are even available, octrees or binary space BSP trees. Okay, and as you can see this example of octrees, here this is your surface, this is your model that you are kept in the bounding box, and maybe you will divide that bounding box into the smaller, you can say cubicles or cubes, and up to what stage or what is the threshold, what is the limit to continue this procedure for the division. So here we have to take care if your shape, if your box, if your cube is completely overlapped or completely not overlapped, it is completely blank. So till that stage, you go on dividing your bounding box into the smaller cubes. Okay, unnecessary, we are not dividing the complete box into smaller and smaller cubes. Okay, so as you can see in this figure, some cubes are of large size and some cubes are of small size. Okay, so in this way we can use the recursive algorithm for you can say subdivision. Okay, then the frustum culling. In the frustum culling, actually this part is very important. Whenever you want to show some animation or frames of animation, what is the scope of your frame or what is the limit of your 3D environment, that you should know first, and accordingly you can set the bounding planes. Okay, so with respect to those bounding plane, you can define the environment, and in that environment you imagine that your model is available. So with respect to environment, with respect to size of your model, you just specify this frustum. Okay, you define that boundary, you define that view volume. Okay, these are the alternating terms available because it might even possible. Now this is perspective projection. If you are watching everything from the one point, you will get the perspective projection. But there may be a parallel projection also, in which front face, back face, side faces, the size are same. Okay, as you can see here, the near clipping plane and far clipping plane, the sizes are different. But in the parallel culling or parallel view volume, the sizes may be same. So you have to take care of these things in the 3D modeling. With respect to your model, what is the size of 3D environment? ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि if your object is very small and your volume view volume is very big. And also this should not happen कि your object is very big and which is not covered by your view volume. Okay, so frustum culling is also very important. But generally, when it comes into the picture is कि when your object is translated, rotated, so it should not go out of scope. Okay, so in that case, this thing is very important. Texture mapping, okay, according to me, this is also very important field because sometimes we are not able to create the exact picture, exact model. As you can see this example, if you want to create this earth globe, can you create it manually by defining the ages of all the nation? No, it's quite difficult. So the simple thing is you just use one 3D object, 3D sphere, and apply the image of that earth, right? Earth globe. So you apply that image and you will easily get that textured object. Okay. So this is texture mapping. And but texture mapping is again not that simple because we have to take care of mapping each and every coordinate carefully. Okay, this should not happen that one. I mean, you cannot change the size of that, you can say, nation, right? So, whatever may be the exact relative size of that nation is, as per that only, you apply that image onto that object. See, when I'm talking about this mapping, I'm also interested in properly mapping or proper use of algorithm, proper validation of that data. And there the AI and ML is coming in the picture. There we have to properly map with the help of AI, or we can validate using the AI machine learning algorithms. Yeah, now this is also one very important concept, isosurface. Sometimes what happens is you're not always able to you can say specify the complete object. It is quite memory consuming. Imagine that you want to create a brain model, and in that brain model what happens is okay, if you want to store each and every voxel, yeah, then it may be sometimes quite memory consuming. So then what is the optimized form for that brain mapping? And using isosurface, one marching cube algorithm or some algorithms are available. We can take the help of these isosurfaces to map the brain. Isosurfaces means there's just, you can see those are the surfaces. This blue surface, green surface, yellow surface, red surface. So with the help of surface parameters, we represent the voxel. This is the idea. Yeah. So as you can see, this marching cube algorithm, there we categorize the complete brain object into the small voxel, but at the same time, that voxel is represented using the, you can say, equation of isosurface. Okay, see, there are two ways of optimization. Either, or you can say there are two ways of, model storage. Either you store each and every parameter of that voxel, color or what is the smallest thing, or otherwise you runtime calculate the exact value. And many softwares, many tools are using the second approach. Runtime they are calculating, they are using some formulas, and using that formula they are calculating the color or pixel value for that particular, you can say, voxel, right? So Marching-Cube algorithm is one algorithm ki there you divide it into the smaller cubes, that is voxel. But voxel parameters are determined by the equations of isosurfaces. That is why I told you ki Marching-Cube algorithm is one application of isosurfaces. See, this is the picture which is created in the using the Marching-Cube, and whole human head is created by processing that small slices or small color. Sorry, isosurfaces formulas. Here they have used 150,000, right? 50 lakhs, or you can say triangles or small voxels key to represent that you can say head. Now, one important set of algorithm is global illumination. How to create such an interesting shiny effect? Say, unless until you are not simulating the light in the environment, it will not look like real. Okay, you take a simple flat color image and you will find ki okay, it is not looking like real unless until you add you can say light effect in that modeling. Okay, so light effects से क्या होता है कि using light effect you can implement shininess, you can implement reflective surfaces, you can implement shadow also. Unless until you create shadow, you will not get a feel कि okay, this model is actually available in the environment, right? So unless until you implement the light calculation in your model, it will not look like real. Okay, so global illumination algorithms are used for that. Let me cover some of the global illumination algorithm. First is ray tracing. So in the ray tracing, what we do is we trace the path of light ray, and in between there is some object. So how that object is reflecting the light. So after reflection, what is the color value, what is the intensity, and what is the direction of that ray? That we calculate. So all sort of physics calculation, mathematical calculations are there to determine the exact color and position and intensity of that light on that surface. As you can see here, here on that image, you can see the picture of that ball, okay, ball or the sphere. But at the same time, you have to be careful about the color of that sphere, right? So whenever the ray is transferred, then how the light is reflected, which color is reflected, what is the intensity, that also you how to determine. Okay. So ray tracing is one popular algorithm. You can easily implement it in the OpenGL. Even when I was teaching OpenGL, I know ki, I mean, not that easy, but at least compared to the C simple C language, you will have some ready functions or libraries available using which can you implement a ray tracing algorithm using OpenGL language. Yeah, then we have to use some physics or reflective functions. So here there is bidirectional reflectance distribution function. In some area, how that light is sprayed. Okay, how that light is determined, how that light is reflected, so that we can calculate in the BRD function. Radiosity algorithm. Here, you can actually simulate how the light is spreading here. Because what happens is, you see this first image, here these are, you can see just a static, you can say walls is there, wall color is there, window color is there, window brightness is there. But when it comes to the natural environment, the light is reflected from the wall also, right? So whenever the light is coming from the window, actually it is falling on the wall, and then from the wall also it is reflected, right? So in the various iterations, you can simulate that light using the radiosity algorithm. Then photon mapping algorithm. In the photon mapping, you can consider the smallest photon particle, light particle. How many particles are there? As per that, you calculate the radiance value in that or intensity value in that environment. Okay, so that's about all the basic algorithms. I have covered all the basic algorithms in the graphics. But now we should take care or which research projects are available, research techniques are available. Let me cover some of the projects in which this AI/DS algorithms are used, AI machine learning algorithms are used, and those using those algorithms, how can you cover the graphics? Okay, so these are techniques in research. You will find many interesting things related to these projects in on the NVIDIA side and on different science. I mean, you can say universities. Okay, in the different universities, the research is going on these different projects where you can actually embed the AI ML techniques to optimize your graphics processing. Okay, so yeah, so first project what I found interesting is text to shape conversion. जैसे कि you have studied yesterday text mining. So text mining में you are taking care of words, okay, and words require very small memory, right? So considering that point, here we use this description in terms of words, and then those words are simulated runtime to get the exact shape. Yeah, at the same time you have to be careful. Okay, you have to define so many parameters in the text format, and you should be precise in giving that text data so that you will get the exact shape. Otherwise क्या होगा कि suppose okay you have given suppose four legs. Okay, so four legs are there for chair also and for bed also, or for table also. Then suppose I have given the next parameter as a blue color, so again there will be ambiguity. Again I will increase the number of parameters, as suppose there will be one rod to keep the hands. Okay, then that may be nearer to your chair or chair parameters. There will be there will be bag, there will be suppose wheels. Okay, so extra, I mean whatever information you are giving to create that object, that should be precise or that should be specific or that should determine the exact shape. Okay, and some again for this the some tools are available, or some actually as I told you this project is in research. So there they have created some simple patterns as you can see in the figure ki bed, bowl, clock, mug, table, chair, some simple text pattern data set for those shapes, for those objects are available. Okay, so you have to be careful about you can say giving all the parameters precisely. Okay, so this is a multimodal learning system, and cluster text embeddings and shape embedding system is there. So as I told you ki in many projects not just AI algorithm but machine learning algorithms are also used. So clustering text embedding is used here, and similar descriptions are clustered to identify the object or to create the object. As I told you, if you are taking suppose four legs, so four legs means you can select the bed or you can select the table, okay, you can select the chair. Then later you go on adding all the description, and using the clustering technique, finally we are able to identify the correct shape, correct object, correct model. Conditional GAN technique. In the previous lectures, you might have heard from the NVIDIA people that this GAN technique is used nowadays in the AI to create the 3D models. So what is that GAN technique? We'll study in the next slide. Okay. So conditional GAN is used here also to generate the 3D model from the text embeddings. Okay. And what is GAN? GAN is generative adversarial network, where we are taking the help of CNN. Okay, so using CNN, we can embed many parameters together to identify the shape. Generative modeling is an unsupervised learning task in a machine learning that involves automatically discovering, learning the regularities of pattern in that input data in such a way that model can be used to generate the output. So, say here, you can correlate your AI domain and graphics do. Okay, so how can we optimize the algorithm using the, and as you know, CNN works in layer. So layer by layer, we are trying to, you can say, precisely identifying or precisely clustering the model and identifying or implementing that shape. Okay. Similar to JN, there is further extension as a GQN language. कि GQN में क्या है कि you can further fire a query to identify that model. Okay. As you can see here, this is also one output of this GN. Here initially you can specify this object, and there you can specify the arm or panel, panel or flat seat. Okay, you go on adding the parameters to identify or to cluster it more precisely and identify that shape. Okay, there is one more interesting project called as a structure net. What is that structure net actually? Here it uses the autoencoder text encoder to encode the data, graphics related data, to construct the final object. It is a hierarchical graph based variational autoencoder VAE to reconstruct models based on graph node and bounding boxes. Okay, again, this is an iterative approach. In every iteration, we are trying to encode the voxel data and we convert into the set of vectors which occupy a minimum memory. And then with the help of the clustering of those vectors, we actually create the final model. Okay, let me show you one more graph here. Okay, here we represent every voxel data in the form of vectors, and then we cluster those vectors. And after clustering, you will be able to identify that object runtime, or you will be able to create a model. So here, believe me, it occupies the less memory because here we are not storing all the voxel information. We are encoding it into the vector and it occupy the less space. And after decoding all the vectors, we will be able to generate that 3D model. So this is the one case I found interesting. Now, the second interesting project I found on the NVIDIA, actually NVIDIA is working on this, the modeling cities in the 3D using only the image data. So what is this project? In the Zurich city, they have implemented the model for Zurich city and city of Zurich. And here the name of that project is Varsity project. I have you also given the link here, YouTube link on which they have uploaded their video. On the NVIDIA site, you will find the information of this project. So what they have done is they have taken many pictures of that city, and now that pictures is actually converted into 3D model. See, complete city is converted into the 3D model. So if you want to find out suppose the structure of particular road or particular area, lake, building, you can just zoom that you can say project or zoom that 3D model to get the details of each and every uh, building or road, everything. And this model is created using the deep learning approach. That deep learning is applied on all the images collected from that city. Okay. And also at the same time, they are using the high-end GPU processor to model this city. Third interesting project I found is to create a exact face, create a you can say human body. Okay, so that you can work on the face also, face or animate face, because you can use this face in the real time animation, real games, right? जैसे कि you might be aware of that Ravan movie. Okay, in that Shah Rukh is actually working as one 3D model and fighting with that. Okay, the objects. Okay, so in that way, here we are using some tools using which we actually implement the human face or human uh, model, head model, or and exact you can say it should match with that face. So exact face demonstration. So here also in NVIDIA, this one project is available, which is working on creation of face by taking the realistic human faces. Okay, so NVIDIA is showing how it can animate the realistic human faces and simulate how that light interact with the surfaces. And it will tap the AI technology to improve the realism of that facial animation. Even, yeah, the point is given here. It can animate the happy face, sad face. Even you can test yourself. If you are, imagine that if you have created your own model, you can test. कि, okay, आप ये if you are sad, how will you look like? If you are happy, how will you look like? Quite interesting, right? So, so if you are implementing or converting your face or yourself into a 3D model, you will be happy or you will be very, I mean, happy to see this. Okay, ki, like you only one model is available. Yeah, and beside that, yeah, many other projects are available. Just I've given short information. PIFU HD model, which is working on multi-level pixel align implicit function for high resolution 3D human digitization. It is working on the HD images. So when you're talking about the HD images, basically it is a large size image. So your software must be capable enough to handle all those HD images and to extract the information. And there we can use the deep neural network to handle all the parameters. So that large amount of data. One more project available by Google, that it is created the AI that just need a few snapshot to make a 3D model of its surroundings. And there also they are using the AI model, AI techniques. Even one more available in the NVIDIA, that using one just single image, it is creating a model. But of course, that image should be proper to create your realistic 3D model. Okay, so many you can find many interesting projects on the NVIDIA side, because say why I have taken the example from the NVIDIA side because as you know, okay, their product GPU, they have the high-end GPUs available, even the simple GPUs available. Basically, they are working on the optimized compiler also. So their working direction in two is actually in the two ways. They are working in making the model optimized, making their compiler optimized, and they have the strong GPUs are even available. Using those GPUs, they are executing or they are executing their algorithms. Okay. Yeah, and beside that, okay, I hope कि using this interesting project, you got idea कि how you can implement or you can work on different graphics model. But at the same time, yeah, there are many smaller fields available. कि there also your work you can select as a research area. First is real time rendering. कि if you want to, जैसे कि you might heard about the augmented reality. In augmented reality, you can embed I mean your environment with some objects, okay, or with yourself. Okay, you feel that you are rendering inside the 3D environment. So how to interface that 3D environment with your desired object? Okay, so you can explore it more. Then optimization, that is also one interesting field, so that it will use the minimum memory, minimum execution time. Radiance calculation, even if the ray tracing or photon mapping or different, you can say, light-based algorithms are available, but still there is a scope to optimize that calculation. Caching, path tracing, expanding to more classes and unlabeled object. जैसे कि I told you about text to shape. तो text to shape में still we have very small set of objects available. So that classes you can extend. Incorporate attention models into the text encoder. Okay, you can add more and more. You can say strategies into the encoder where you are converting the text into the vectors. Okay, use a more conversational model. Okay, so with respect to dynamic commands, the model should be, you can say, or you can control those models, you can operate those models. So that language you can develop. Incorporate other input data than only text. Just like I told you about text to gem. But yeah, try to find out or try to implement many different types of input to make it more user friendly, and switch away from the voxels entirely. Voxels are quite memory consuming units. So try to find out the mathematical formulation. जैसे one I told you about isosurface, right? So compare to isosurface, find out some more techniques. Yeah, so that is from my side. I try to cover the how 3D modeling works, and at the same time, how can you extend your research into that 3D modeling using AI, ML, and using different graphics or combining different graphics algorithms also. Yeah. So thank you very much. So if you have any questions, I'm here to give the answers.